Hello and welcome to another episode of the Elbows Down MotoGP podcast. My name is Alex Higginson, and once again I'm joined by Jimmy Harrison.
Wow.
And yes, indeed. And this week we're coming up to the Silverstone Grand Prix. And right now, Jimmy, what will we be doing?
Well, we'd be getting ready to get up at 7 o'clock in the morning, so we'd be setting up the tent probably at Woodlands for Thursday morning, wouldn't we?
We would have set up our
No, it's
pitch
Wednesday.
at,
It's Wednesday, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is it?
We would have set up our stuff, and we'd probably be down the petrol head.
What, on a Wednesday? We go on Thursday, don't we? Thursday morning.
Do we go on Thursday?
Yeah, we do, yeah.
Fuck.
We'd still be giddy as hell, and we'd be getting alarms to be set. So yeah, we did say we were going, and I have got the
I feel like we go on the Wednesday.
No, we got Thursday.
Oh, so annoyed. Anyway, either way,
we're going to get FOMO. Alex doesn't like going to Silverstone that much, but
I do. Right, I do love going to Silverstone. I love going to Silverstone because I'm with my mates.
Yeah.
We always have a good time, and I feel like we would usually be there at this point. Maybe not on a Wednesday. It's me thinking about Glastonbury. We're there on a Wednesday, and we're already set up, and we're already going around and that sort of thing. But yeah, so tomorrow we would be we'd be setting off for Silverstone in the morning, set up our camp and going. But unfortunately, this Silverstone Grand Prix we're unable to go. As many of you know, the Silverstone Grand Prix has moved from the August weekend to being a May weekend, which has got a bit of there's a bit of contention in the air as to who is going to be happy and sad about that.
Well, people who aren't massive on the TT for a start, because like I work in the industry of selling kit, and a lot of people are off to the TT. Yeah, so we've had some customers in this week saying they're off to Silverstone, and I'm like, don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. But yeah, it's a look. Whether you like the Isle of Man TT or not, it's one of the it is probably the most famous on the British Isles motorcycle race meeting of the year, and it is. Whether you like the TT or not, it is. So people want to go to that, and then 3 months later, go to Silverstone. When you clash both of those events, it's not a good move.
No. We've had the Northwest 200 recently. Then we've got the Isle of Man TT, which happens to fall within, the Isle of Man TT spreads across a few weeks, and the big issue is that the Silverstone, the main Grand Prix of the British Isles, happens.
Yeah. It's just it's
at the same time.
So I reckon they'll be lucky to see 30,000 race day. Obviously, you don't ever see any figures on the warm-up lap anymore of the race day. It's usually the whole weekend. That'll be interesting to see that. But anyway, we aren't going, but everyone who is going.
And we're not bitter about it at all.
Well, I have the weekend off. I can still go somehow. I don't know how I'd get there. I don't have a car or a bike, so yeah.
The issue is for me, and I definitely can't go. My so the landlord of my pub is on holiday. He's going to see AC/DC in Chicago, and that's
what would happen if we just went on Friday? Alex? You'd do your job, wouldn't you, if you went for the weekend?
Seeing as I'm running the pub for John at the moment, I don't think he'd be very pleased.
No.
So basically, I can't go to Silverstone. Jimmy's not going to Silverstone. No. Jimmy was supposed to be going to Silverstone, but is bad out of it.
I would have gone with someone. You know who you are if you're listening. It's fine. Don't worry. Yeah, I can't just rely on someone else, to be fair. And next year, if it goes back to August, we probably will go. But anyway, we aren't here to talk about the fact we're not going. We're here to tell you a few things to what. If you're going to Silverstone and you're in the car right now listening to these two, thank you. Take a credit card. Take waterproofs, obviously.
Credit card, definitely. It's looking. You're saying take waterproofs. The week I looked at just before we started recording, I looked at the weather for York, which is where we are, and there's supposed to be some drizzle over the weekend, both Saturday and Sunday. Look at Silverstone; it's supposed to be, really booming on Friday, really beautiful. Saturday overcast, Sunday overcast is what I've seen from the Met Office reports. Slightly different to when you and I last went, which was 2023. where Saturday we were
Yeah.
just pissed on the entire day.
Yeah.
Sunday was touch and go. I think it was a flag to flag. Was it a flag to flag on Sunday?
It was
teetering on it being a flag to flag.
On the last lap, it started to rain, and that's when LH took advantage of
Yes.
Pecco and won on the last lap. Obviously, I went last year. I think that was the one bad day since 2021. I don't think it rained apart from that one sprint day in 23. Anyway,
the crazy thing at the
take
moment,
your waterproofs anyway, just on the off chance.
The crazy thing at the moment is that they've moved the British Grand Prix, or for what it's now known as
the Grand Prix of the United Kingdom.
Yes, let's get it right. They've moved the British Grand Prix weekend to the Grand Prix of the United Kingdom. And what's really funny about the whole thing is they've moved it to this weekend coming, and we've been suffering a drought for the last month. Yeah. We have had no rain for the last month in the UK. Definitely in England. Definitely in England. We've pretty much had a month of no rain.
Yeah. Of course we're complaining.
I'm not. I'm not.
It's not observation.
One thing is, I never complain about the weather in the UK anymore. I never complain about it because you know what? We enjoy it no matter what. And right now, if it started raining right now, I'd be happy. Well, would be happy because we're trying to record a fucking podcast.
And record it.
But the thing is, we do desperately need some rain at the moment. Unfortunately, the rain seems to be happening over the British Grand Prix, which is a little bit annoying for people trying to decide what is going to happen at the British Grand Prix. It's very,
well, you said it's overcast, but we'll see. Like I said, bring water.
It looks like overcast. I wouldn't. Waterproof trousers is a bit overkill.
I never do that.
Do what we did last year. Just have some of those shitty bin bag ponchos.
Yeah. They were freebies as well.
Where were we sat last? 2 years ago.
So that brings us to a good point. So if you are general admission, they've actually shortened this now because there's another grandstand in the way for Formula 1 that MotoGP don't even open to. So if you look at Vale, which is basically fixed club, so you've got the Vale chicane. Obviously there's a flip-flop, so left and then right, and the right is basically club. You can sit on the hill there, and you can sit on the entire big hill of Vale. That's good because you'll have last lap dive bombs in pretty much any class, definitely Moto 3, and you'll have probably a train race in Moto 3 to enjoy. This is for general admission people, obviously, because if you've got a stand, you'll be fine anyway. You better see over. But if you're going the weekend, definitely try and walk the track because you'll see practice start finish. Definitely do that if this is your first time, or it's your first time in this era. At the end of Friday practice, get yourself to the start and finish straight. There's a small grandstand now there in front of the brand new hotel. It's not that brand new anymore. It's been there 3 years. Go to the start and finish. Just as the session's ending, get yourself there. They'll go back out again for the practice start session. So they do about 2 practice starts. The whole grid will get to the practice start, and you'll see the ride height devices being lowered. The smell's brilliant. The sound's fantastic. And just seeing the acceleration is brilliant. Even if you're not a fan
we got the absolute treat, didn't we?
Yeah, we did, yeah. So go to, at the end of Friday practice, if you're there, go and see that because it's a fantastic experience. Seeing the acceleration of these machines is fantastic. So go and watch that. Go and see that.
Where do you need to go to see that?
Start and finish straight.
Yep.
Yeah, start and finish, which is obviously, by the way, if you haven't been in a few years and you are going this year, do not go to the old pit straight because the programme was wrong the last 2 years.
Yes.
The programme might still be wrong again. Is it the wing now? They go to the ultra-modern Formula 1 pits, not the old national straights. So that's where they'll do those practice starts. Other places to watch general admission. We used to love watching on the exit of Luffield, or Luffield itself. You see lots of the bikes braking heavily from the Wellington Straight into Brooklands, then changing direction into Luffield, accelerating hard, through Woodcut. You'll see all of that. Definitely watch it. That's a good place for race day, actually.
Perfect day for race day.
That's a good place for race day.
Always where we go as well.
Yeah, apart from those last 2 years, if on that hill, just because we wanted to see the podium and the last lap battles, but you'll still see that in Luffield. It's still a good place. There's plenty of screens at Silverstone. Sometimes they're a bit far away, but yeah, for general admission viewers, also you could at the exit of Copse potentially. That's good. You're only going to see the exit in Copse, and it's fast, so it's just whoosh, like picking the bike up. Well, the entrance to Copse is good actually.
Yes.
The entrance got fast. Really, really, really fast. You'd be like, whoa. Moto 3, barely, I don't even think Moto 3 bikes have to brake for Copse. You shove it down a gear, back it in, power through it, and MotoGP obviously, the acceleration coming out of cops. Yeah, so around there is good. But yeah, if you got a grandstand, odds are you've bought it already. Unless you're about to buy it last minute.
We watched the Moto3 race last year, 2023, between the Hamilton 1 and 2 stands.
Yes,
and that was absolutely fantastic. There's a bit where you're in between the two grandstands, and you're on this sort of grassy plain, and it drops down. And when we were there, it'd been raining on the Saturday, so you go down to the bottom. It was all boggy and horrible.
Was that?
And
hang on, was that Brooklands?
It was Brooklands.
That's right. So they've moved the earth, but I'm not sure now because there's a go-kart track there on where the stage used to be.
Yeah, I saw that. On the
that's right. Yeah, there's a stage.
I don't know if they still do that, but
I think they'll open that. Yeah, they will do because they'll have all of that, and then behind it you'll be able to walk, and then that's it. The rest will be a go-kart track, surely, because they actually moved that earth. This is, by the way, on the outside. So the inside of Brooklands, but the outside of Luffield, okay? There is a grass verge. They moved earth there a couple of years ago, so you could watch there. That's good. It's low speed, guys, but you'll be able to get good photographs there if you're not the best at taking fast pictures.
And
but that's good.
You've got a few corners there as well to take photographs from, so it's really good there.
Yeah, if you're one of those people who's got a Canon lens that big, then...
One of your nonce cameras.
Yes. But
it's a nonce camera.
To be fair,
when you've got something like that, with the lens like that, it means it's a nonce camera, isn't it?
Alex?
Well, it is.
You don't own one.
It's the sort of thing. It's the sort of thing. Well, I don't own one. But it's the sort of thing that you take photos of people through windows from. Anyway,
idiots do that. Don't do that. Morons do that, and we don't do that. Alex is just being funny, but obviously.
Why on earth would I do that? I can't even take a photo on my own phone.
From 2015, isn't it?
I would. Actually, it's like a iPhone XE or S or something like that. Anyway, so we're still talking about Silverstone.
But yeah, if you are going to buy a last minute grandstand seat, I think it was Luffield, which is still great because you're directly opposite the podium. You see the start, the finish, down the pit lane from the height of the club grandstand. You'll see everything, and you'll see them braking heavily into the Vale chicane through club. However, last year, my uncle and my dad sat at the Hamilton straight, the pit straight. Right, now, why would you do that, you ask? Because I can't imagine there'll be numbered seats when it's going to be so under-attended. However, if you can manage to sit...
But it will be, because it's Silverstone.
Yeah, well, they're awkward about it. But look, if you can sit the start-finish straight, as far close to the last corner, which is club, as possible, you'll see everything from Stowe all the way down to club, and you'll see them coming towards you from club, and then you'll see them go over the finish line. But yeah, the start-finish is good anyway. You see, why would you watch a start and finish just on its own? Because you see the starts, you get atmosphere. There's people in the main grandstand there. We watched it Magello at the start and finish because we watched the whole weekend around the track. That's it. If you've got anyone can walk a general admission all weekend. If you're happy to have a grandstand seat for the Sunday all weekend, don't bother with that all weekend. Walk around the track. You're allowed in other stands as well. Certain other stands. Look at your ticket. Look at your ticket and look what it says on silverstone.co.uk because certain stands. But if you've got an expensive stand, just save that for Sunday or save it for the sprint. Very important to enjoy that on race day because we wouldn't have sat all weekend at Magello on that start finish straight just watching them go 200 miles an hour. So mix it up a bit, walk the track. But it is. I warn you, it is a long walk. That track is long. If you can take a push bike, they get annoying. But my lord, it's the way to do Silverstone. Because
Silverstone, remember that it's 2 minutes plus to get around for a MotoGP bike.
Yeah.
So walking around the outside, it's going to take you all day, and
because you'll want to stop and watch.
Yeah, and we did spend the entire day, 2023, walking around, and it was hot as well. It was really hot on the Friday, so it was knackering. So make sure that you look at where is good to go, and then go there and stay there, and then move along. But don't walk around like we do, like dickheads, because Jimmy, I love you to bits, but the amount of times that you walk us around places, I'm going, yeah, I know, mate, but it's going to be this is good here. No. We need to go. We need to go to the next session over at this place. Right. Okay. How far's that? Oh, it's going to be about a half an hour walk. No, it's not. It's an hour walk.
If you do want to,
Silverstone is a long walk around.
I don't think you're allowed. I was just thinking, trying to remember if you're allowed electric scooters. Well, I don't know. Because they're electric, they might be allowed. But yeah, I don't think you can take. Well, alcohol is, I think, out of bounds to bring your own now. But I think you'll be able to buy it at the track. But yeah, if you've got
imagine if I turned up with my bottle of gin and my bottle of tonic, and they said, "Oh no, you can't have that." I said, "It's water." So bring gin and tonic.
Yeah, proper British afternoon.
Or, if you really have to, vodka and tonic. So don't bring tins with you because you're not allowed to. So Jimmy's giving you the whole "this is where you should be" thing. I'm going to give you the whole how you should drink there. So
you can't
get one of these. It's from work. And get one of these. And then all you have to do is fill up your water bottle with gin and fill up your tonic with tonic. And then you're absolutely fine for the rest of the day. Bring yourself a cup. And all you have to do is go, "Oh, I'm awfully thirsty."
Yeah.
Go like that. And
unless I wonder if they'll sniff the bottle.
They won't care. All you have to do is but don't go too mad with the tonic.
Of course.
Because if you do, you'll ruin an entire drink. But either way, look, I'm sporty. I run for a living. This is what I do. I go for a run at 6:30 in the morning. That's what this says to the marshals. So that's what you need to do. And look, you've got a full glass of joy.
Brilliant. And if it is that dead, though, I wonder if they're dicks. No, they won't. I'd be gobsmacked if they did sniff anything.
Don't bother with cans. You're not going to be able to bring beer, cider, perry, any wine, anything in.
Who brings perry? Do people do that?
Dear boy.
Who brings... Well, I've never seen you do that before you even say it.
I once brought... So I had a genius idea. I thought, right, we're going to be waiting in the queue for a while. So... buy it. It's my turn. It's my turn to talk now. Buy yourself a bag-in-box of cider, right? Lie it down flat in your freezer the night before, so it's flat. When you bring it out, it's like that, okay? And then you put it in your rucksack or you put it in your luggage. And then by the time you get to Silverstone, if you're coming from North Yorkshire like we are, then you've got nice, ice cold, but still liquid cider to put into glasses. But if you're coming from Cheshire or...
You're going to insult the county now.
No, of course not. If you're coming from Cheshire and you've got a bit more money, which you do, then get your gin, put it into a separate receptacle. Gin looks like water.
Yeah, people...
And then you've got this. Yes. So all you need to do is that. And it's really important because race day can be fucking boring sometimes. And also when you're doing your free practices, you're qualifying, no one wants to be sat in the stands going, "Has anyone got my my bottle of sparkling mineral water?" "Oh, thank you, darling."
San Pellegrino.
San Pellegrino. No, you want your gin and tonic. So that's what you need to do. Look, Marshall, all I've got is a bottle of water. Sorry, all I've got is a bottle of water. And then that's how you get into Silverstone. Because they're not going to be going, "What's in your Huel bottle?"
Huel.
"Oh, that's gin. You're not allowed in. Get out." You need to, honestly, be prepared. Because this year, you are not allowed to bring in your own alcohol. You have to buy alcohol at the circuit, which is bullshit.
Yeah, I think a lot of
do not allow them
doing it though. No.
But £7 a pint, right? Once I'm in the circuit, I'll have a few beers. Yeah, a few beers will cost you £21.
Anyway, food. Try and make sandwiches as much as you can. Look, unless you don't care about, you saved up and spend, fine. That's your prerogative. As you can imagine, a bacon sandwich, depending where you go, you're not going to get much meat and you're not going to get much burger if you go for a burger. So you'll end up spending money. It's fine. Spend money, enjoy yourself. But anyway, away from all that, I think we've covered spectator points.
I mean, just one quick thing.
Is this about booze again?
No.
Isn't it?
No, it's not. It's about eggs. Eggs.
Boiled eggs. Hard-boiled eggs.
No, eggs. I bought a sandwich. It was a lovely sandwich from one of the... when they have the big red bus.
Yes, I think they... I don't know where... Where was that? Was that...
Yeah.
Oh, it was in Cops.
As you come in through the...
No, you're right. It is. It's behind Club.
Anyway, I bit into my sandwich and the egg went all down my sleeve and I stank of egg for the entire day. Be careful when you buy a sandwich with egg in it.
You can say that about anyone, anywhere in the world.
Open your sandwich, stab the egg.
You're an idiot.
You're an idiot. Put the thing back on top of it before you bite into your sandwich. Because I bit into my sandwich and the egg went straight down my sleeve and I stank. Didn't I? I stank.
Thankfully, the smell of race oil probably messed it, to be honest.
Castrol GTX was the...
Yes.
Anyway, right.
let's move on from
Bring your own booze in, but be clever about it, and don't bite into an egg sandwich before you've perforated the yolk.
By the way, when we post this, if anyone has any niche ideas, reply to it and post it.
Yeah, please do.
Please,
and then just go, can you bin off that fucking alky that is one of your co-hosts?
Yeah, I know that gin's clear like water, you twat. Anyway.
Yes, but look, I look so healthy holding this.
Yes.
It's gin.
Yeah. Yeah. If you have any meetings this week, be sure to drink it before you have the meeting, dickhead. Anyway,
I don't have meetings. I'm a publican.
Well, or record a pod.
I'm a publican. I work drunk.
Yes.
Constantly.
No, you don't drink that much during your shifts. Well, okay, maybe you do where you are now. Never used to before, but maybe different pubs. Anyway, moving on. Max Cook is standing in. You BSB fans.
Right, moving on to Moto3.
That is really, really, really... I honestly didn't see that coming.
So, Moto3 this weekend.
Yes.
This is the first time that we're going to have a full British MLAV team. So we've got, we've got Eddie O'Shea already.
2023, unless was injured then.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So at the British Grand Prix, this is the first time since 2023. Because remember last year, we had in Moto3, Josh Watley quit just before Silverstone.
Yep.
And went to Euro Moto 2.
Yes.
European Moto 2.
Yeah.
Which was like a big talking point this time last year. Well, we all shat ourselves, didn't we? We were like, what's he doing? So Josh Watley last year left the MLAV squad and went to European Moto 2.
Yep. Yeah.
And now, I mean, fucking hell, how many riders have we gone through this year in MLAV?
Well... we've already talked enough about gin and food, but a lot of riders. I'm sorry, it is an embarrassing amount of riders. However, it is quite refreshing, and yes, we've got two Brits in the same team back there for the British Grand Prix.
So Max Cook is coming through to Moto 3.
It's partner Eddie O'Shea.
So we've now got two British riders back for the British team.
I wonder how that's going to work out. I'm sure, surely, he's going to be following O'Shea out to just watch his lines for the first. I mean, the thing is, in these sessions about 3, they're only 35 minutes or half an hour now. So, and 2 minutes 5 seconds of that per lap.
It came as a complete shock. Shock.
He's a tall guy as well, so this is going to be.
He's 5'7", I think. Is Max Cook?
That's not. He must be taller than that. He must be, because that's average Moto. He's taller than that. I swear he is. Anyway, look. The point is that he's going to be used to riding a bike that's a lot softer, an awful lot softer, but it's got 220, 230 brake horsepower, and this bike doesn't even have 100 horsepower. The tires might not be a million miles different, but it's going to be a massive uphill climb for him. I mean, I don't know what he's going to be able to do other than follow Eddie O'Shea, and I don't. Scott's on a different team now, so I don't think Scott's going to.
Right. The only thing that I can think of is that he's from Swindon.
Yes.
My favourite band on the planet, XTC, are from Swindon.
You've got quite a few favourite bands on the planet, Alex.
Shut up. He's a very tall lad. He's a very tall lad.
Yeah.
And the last thing that I've found of him is that he's 5'6.5".
Okay. I thought he was taller than that, but go on.
5'6.5" doesn't sound like much, but he's probably like pushing. I mean, that might have been from years ago. Either way,
he's not going to be lacking any fitness.
Either way, he won't be lacking fitness.
He's
from British Superbike.
Yeah.
He spent a year in British Super Sport, and then this is his second year in British Superbike.
Yeah.
Now, the funniest comment ever that I've seen, which was basically what I was thinking, was, Max, take a big shit before
you get on that bike.
Because every little bit of weight counts.
Yeah.
And I had it on my phone before it.
We have had. Onshu is quite tall. Don't forget, but obviously Onshu's used to riding.
Vaya was tall.
Vaya's quite tall. Yeah.
Scott Ogden's tall.
Yeah. The thing is, I don't think that's going to come into much. It's just adaptation. You're not going to adapt to a Moto3 bike over a weekend. You're just not. I'll be gobsmacked for years, and I'll be happy if he does. Imagine a sudden career change for Max Cook.
I know.
But yeah, it's a
someone
time for him.
Right, Mark Abel, if you're listening to this.
Yeah.
Mark
Alex
Abel
really likes this joke. Can you tell?
Mark Abel. I'd recommend a big poo before the race. Anything to save weight.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure they all do that, but yes, definitely. Yeah.
Big poo. So, Max, if you're watching this,
or listening,
big poo.
Yeah.
Big poo.
So hopefully he can. I mean, points would be really hard, but yeah, best of luck to Max Cook for his first ever British Grand Prix. That's really fun news. That.
And I love Michael Laverty. I love his team. I love the fact that he's
actually got a British rider. He's gone for a British. He could have gone. There must have been. No disrespect to Max Cook, there will have been other riders with more Grand Prix experience that could have maybe stood in. But then you've also got to the age limit would have cut in as well.
But we've had Max Cook in Moto3 before. A while ago.
Yeah, must be. And when was that? Crikey! Fact checking me here. Anyway, it's still a long time ago, and the tyres are different now, Alex. And he's used to riding a completely different machine.
I will procure that information soon.
Dickhead.
We'll just go on to it in a minute. But I love Michael Laverty. I love his team. But there seems to be a bit of a issue where riders don't really get through many.
Well, they just keep going to the moon.
We have Cruces. Uriarte, who's supposed to be there. Cruces, who's replacing Uriarte.
Yeah.
And then now Cruces is injured, and now Max Cook is taking over. Yeah. It's like no offense, Max Cook. It seems like they're running out of options.
Yeah, but they are because I mean Eddie O'Shea's been sent to the moon a few times as well. It's not just his team.
Yeah, but he doesn't need to be injured. He's not injured.
He has been though.
Yeah, he has been injured.
And he pretty much injured himself as soon as he got on the bike.
Right
in Indonesia, I think it was last year. But yeah,
when he was like an unofficial rookie.
Yeah,
when he replaced Josh Watley.
Yeah, in the second half of last year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But anyway, best luck to MLab this weekend, and obviously best luck to Scott Ogden for the CIP Green Power team. I think now he's got a KTM. Just get into Q2 and don't rely on a tow. Just do your own thing.
And don't just aim for P12.
His favourite, isn't he?
For fuck's sake, Scott. Come on, mate. We've had you on the podcast before. You've been on the Honda.
Yeah.
It's thrown you to the moon. You knew that you cannot push on the Honda. The MLF Honda, anyway. You know that you can't push on it. And now you're on the KTM. Come on, mate.
Yeah.
Just bring it home.
Yeah, bring it home. Bring it a top 5.
Top 5.
Yeah.
We meant.
Brilliant. I think that's realistic as well. Just get into Q2, get a good start, and just keep If Scott can keep tabs of the front group, who knows? So best of luck to Scott. We need to move on though, because this is supposed to be a short British Grand Prix preview. We'll touch on. We can just fire by the hip with this one, really. A bit of silly season here, and a bit of Martin talk about what on earth is going on there, because he posted an Instagram story. Sorry, you did that. No, it wasn't. It was a post. This comeback is personal.
Fuck off.
If anyone who actually knows,
stop being so fucking draining.
I don't understand what it. Yeah, but
He's such a drainer.
What does it even mean? What does it actually mean?
He's such a fucking boring bastard.
Why don't you tell us what you really think?
Like, I'm sorry, Martin. Don't get me wrong. I could do a much better version. No,
but the thing is,
genuinely,
what is he doing now? What is he doing? Aprilia or not?
What does that mean? This comeback is personal.
What comeback?
Fuck off.
When's he coming back? He said he wouldn't come back with Aprilia.
You've injured yourself. Just come back normally. Like,
yeah, I don't get it.
This comeback is personal.
It doesn't make any sense.
What are you going to do? The thing is, all you're doing is setting yourself up for a stupid, boring...
Honda,
here's
maybe,
a P14 for me. That's personal.
Doesn't look good if he wants to get a Honda next year or anything like that.
He could have come back at Qatar. Didn't come back at Qatar.
Well, he did, so he crashed.
He
broke bones.
And he crashed and broke bones.
Yeah.
And the thing
is... But that's not... You can't just blame that on Aprilia. Because,
no, I know. You can't just blame it on Aprilia.
That's what he shouldn't be doing then. Because I think he's maybe scared of the bike.
But he is.
But he set himself to doing a Sepang test, right, after 12 laps. So the last two times he's been on the bike, well, the last time he was on the bike at Qatar, he was basically... Right, he was pushing, but he wasn't the same man. Of course he wasn't. He wasn't fully fit. But he went back to Qatar and then obviously went over those Misano curves. That didn't help. And then got towed by Didier. So, but it's not... He can't really... I'm sorry, you can't blame Aprilia for this. Yes, he's got that clause in the contract. We've all read. That was leaked from internally on purpose. It must be on purpose so he can get out of it. Because obviously the relationship's broken down, definitely on his end. But I don't understand. Anyway, away from that, we covered that last week. What I want to talk about is what's going to happen for the rest of the year. Savadori will be the natural replacement for the rest of the year if he doesn't come back. But next year, because he won't be there next year after this. I'll be gobsmacked. And now, obviously, last week you thought other things, but now it's more obvious that he won't be. The relationship's gone.
The worst thing about what's happened with Martin is that he has upset his manufacturer.
Yep.
He has upset the people who pay his bills. And by going to other places like Honda, for example, and saying, "Oh, what can I do with you?" Martin has basically betrayed Aprilia. Yeah. And they are now, if you look through gp1.com, are looking to pursue legal action against Jorge Martin, which is massive.
Yeah.
You imagine you're working for a company, so put it in bar terms, put it in pub terms, you're working with Green King. You slag Green King off to the entire world, and everyone's like,
you'd be fired. Green King. You'd be fired in if you had that many followers. Anyway.
Say I'm running a pub for Green King. And I say, right, Green King, I don't want to be with them next year. I want to be with Heineken or anyone else.
Another pub analogy.
And then everyone's going, holy shit, this is insane. This amazing, famous publican is, he wants to move from pub to pub. And this is where Green King go, how fucking dare you?
Yeah.
Like we've given you a pub for 2 years, and you're already saying that you want to go to Heineken.
Yeah.
You want to run a pub for them.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's so embarrassing. It's so embarrassing.
In any line of work. The thing is,
line of work.
If you did that with especially but the point is with the amount of followers he has. And you might think, it doesn't matter, I'll get an offer here. And I don't know. Honda won't look at this and think, well, if you do ride for us, we're going to make sure our contract is written in how we like as well. So you can't do this to us.
So what have Honda said to him?
Well, no one knows, but no one really knows.
The important thing.
But where else is he going to go? But the point, where else is he going to go?
But what is fucking crazy is this man through his toys, and this is going from what people have said in comment sections on Facebook, which
Take that with a pinch of salt.
We all know
obviously.
that I absolutely despise. What has he said? Because he's gone from Ducati, best bike, having the 2024 Grand Prix bike on the grid, the best bike
ever made, probably,
the best bike ever built,
yeah,
and going, I don't want that because it doesn't come with a factory sticker. So I'm going to go to Aprilia, which right now is probably the worst bike on the grid. If you think about it, at this point in the championship, it's quite easy to say that the Aprilia is the worst bike on the grid.
Don't know, but it's weird that the midfield and the backfield is weird.
Think about it this way: 2-3 years ago, the Aprilia was up there with Ducati, and everyone was saying it's Ducati or Aprilia. And now it's Ducati or it's Yamaha.
Well, he can't go to Pramac Yamaha because they say they're keeping Miller and Oliveira. They're happy.
Miller and Oliveira.
And Rins, by the sounds of
which doesn't mean a fucking thing, by the way.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It doesn't mean a thing.
It doesn't mean a thing. Yeah, but still, the thing is, right now, Oliveira would probably be the most at risk. Rins in the factory team. Actually, yeah, he could go there, but again, Yamaha management.
No, they'll keep him. They'll keep Rins.
I think. Look, yeah, his injury is still an issue, but Martin would probably go faster on it. However, I just think he needs to rein this in because it doesn't look good for other team managers and the bosses in Japan.
This is the big thing.
Yeah,
this is the big thing is how it looks to other manufacturers, and this is what everyone's saying at the moment. Even the idiots that still think that Rossi's the best rider in the entire world. Even those people are still saying, and they're absolutely right, what on earth is Martin doing? Because he's absolutely throwing his weight around. He must have a fucking plan. He must
maybe, yeah. There's a lot we don't know. There's a lot everyone doesn't know.
He must have a plan. Because if you'd have gone, right, I'm on the factory spec Ducati, but I'm not in the factory Ducati squad, I don't want any part of this anymore. This is stupid. I want to go away.
Yeah, but you wouldn't have had a plan back then,
which is ridiculous.
He didn't know he was
and then go to Aprilia, which at the time seemed like a competitive package. They were making their way forward. Aprilia haven't done a shit since 2022, 2023.
You can say they won races and sprints, but Maverick and LH were a good
They haven't done anything.
Yeah, I know, but I think it's still a thing. Is in the right hands? In the right hands, I mean, if you got LH still on that bike and Mav on that bike still, I think they would be getting podiums here and there. Maybe.
And also, think about it.
I don't think it's the worst bike. I don't even know what the worst bike is.
Martin don't like each other.
No, they don't.
They don't like each other.
They used to dislike each other.
All they've ever done is scrap and bitch about each other. Those two don't work well together so far. No. And the thing is, maybe they would be by now, but we don't know because Martin just injured all the time.
But anyway, the question, Al, who can actually replace him next year? Martin.
At Aprilia.
So, I mean, obviously, a lot of outlets are...
Enea Bastianini.
I think, he wants out. So, that would be... they want another... it wouldn't harm to have a second Italian, a Grand Prix winner, a Moto2 world champion.
Yeah. 100%.
I
always said that he should go... Fuck Marini.
He's good at developing a bike.
I'm sorry.
He's more... but the thing is...
He had his fucking time at Ducati.
Yeah, but as a team leader, maybe, and developing a bike, I think he's more switched on talking to engineers than Bastianini is. Bastianini gets on a bike that's fast straight away, is my point. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm not saying Marini's faster, because he isn't as fast as Bastianini. He's not as naturally gifted as Enea Bastianini. I agree with that. But Aprilia have got to think of this. Is Marco Bezzecchi going to lead our development, especially going into 2027?
No.
So Aigura, I think, would probably be... Look, there you go. There's a factory contract. I think that would make sense, to be fair. But they probably want to look at him more because Aigura isn't... He started the season really well. They did a big test at Thailand, and I think he just switched on there, and he gelled well. And then they happened to race there a couple of weeks later. So that was a bit different. And then he went to a load of tracks he'd never ridden on a MotoGP bike before, right? Aigura would make sense as well. Bastianini, there's a good point. I've heard people saying Jack Miller. And can you imagine that? Another new factory.
Keep him on the Yamaha.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, can you imagine if Miller went to another factory? So he would have been then going from Honda to Ducati, KTM, to Yamaha, and then to Aprilia. Wow, that would be impressive. Yeah. I tell you what, not many people could say that.
Mate, I'm sorry, Bastianini is.
You'd hire Bestia, yeah.
I would hire Bestia.
Yeah.
And I would keep Miller where he is.
Yeah. I think Ducati is going to be hard for Martin to go back to because he left them in some style.
I think that for me, as Jack Miller, I would expect my progression to be stay there at Pramac Yamaha, 2026, stay there. And then,
I think so, yeah.
And then Alex Rins leaves factory and it opens up for Jack Miller. Jack Miller has done. People are so quick to forget what happened a few weeks ago in the sport, and
Jack's a quick guy.
I genuinely think that Jack Miller would be amazing on a factory Yamaha, and don't
basically he's on one now.
Don't be wrong. But the other week, I did say, well, it was like 3-4 weeks ago now. I did say that Alex Rins would still be on. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I said that Alex Rins would retire, and Alex Rins will retire because of injury.
Yeah.
Because he has really never been Alex Rins that we saw at the end of Suzuki, where he won the last ever race at Valencia.
Yeah. And for Suzuki. After the Kota win with Honda, which is forever weird.
Yes.
And then he injured himself a few races later.
And I was so gutted.
Yeah.
I was so gutted.
I don't think
on the Yamaha he didn't win a race.
No.
Because that would have meant we'd have had Suzuki win in 1 year, we'd have had the Honda win in the second year, and in the third year we could have had a Yamaha win.
Yeah.
And all three would come together.
Thing is, I don't think Rins would qualify for the Aprilia. I'm not sure how many new factories would sign him, bless him, at the moment, to be fair. But, I think next year, my guess, Bastian is a good shout. I keep hearing that Mir will stay at HRC. It's just 2 teammates him. And then Marini, where would he go? Marini isn't the type to do what Martin's doing right now, so I think he'd be reliable. Aguirre, I will go with Aguirre, and you say Bastianini.
I think that Aguirre has always said that, in my mind, he's always said, right, I'll flip over a bit, I'll go do something with somebody else.
Well, that's what he did once.
And then maybe I'll go back and finish my career with Honda, which is, who he started his career with.
When they're competitive again, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But
when they're competitive, I'll do it. And so, same thing as Marc Marquez.
Well, I think
I'll finish my career with Honda.
I think
Aguirre, same thing.
So that's where our predictions are for that Aprilia ride next year. Savadori's now got to ride pretty much the rest of the year by the sounds of it, unless Martin comes back, which I can't see happening. But can you imagine being Aprilia now after having Mav and Aleix, good teammates actually, and could do have good results, sprint poles, sprint wins. Aleix, I don't think he won a race last year, but he won a sprint too. Anyway, it was a great team, and now they have Bez, who has flashes of speed, but he crashes, and now his teammate is going to be Lorenzo Savadori. They've gone from that to that because of Martin. So I do feel for Aprilia because I don't think it's the worst bike, but really, I don't think there's a clear worst bike anymore.
I heard a nasty rumour that we're not going to see Jorge Martin for the rest of the year.
I think it's entirely possible.
Yeah, we're not going to see Jorge Martin for the rest of the year, and that when he rides next year, it won't be for Aprilia.
No, it won't. Of course, it won't. Goodness knows where that would be.
He embarrassed them so much. And I also heard that Martin is going to get taken to court by Aprilia.
Well, yeah. Well, you would do, wouldn't you? And he's good. I have
over all this stuff that he said. I mean, it's libel.
6 weeks.
It's
6 more races, though. I swear they said I'll give Aprilia 6 more races, but you're not ready now, and you're not going to be in the top 5 in the championship in 6 races' time.
He must be in an awful situation at the moment. He must be in an awful situation.
But then he has brought it on himself.
Yes.
So
100%.
So I don't really have much sympathy for him right now. But
God knows.
I want him competitive though. I want Martin at the front.
The whole thing's fucking dreadful.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
It's a sham.
And I think that if you're Jorge Martin right now, carry on doing what you're doing.
What?
Because
that's what he's probably doing right now. Training, maybe.
There must be a bloody good reason behind it. There must be a good reason behind it.
He just wants a bike that's not really fast.
Who are we to discuss what he's doing?
We don't know everything behind the closed doors, but they don't live in that world. They need to live in a world where it looks good on you.
We are living in a world where we are not seeing the world champion from last year, the reigning world champion, race at all this year. And it is highly likely that we won't see him for the rest of the year. Because
it's probably another reason why Espeleta is angry.
This is it. So, Carmelo Espeleta is so angry right now because
is that according to GP1?
Everything that Speed Week,
sorry. Was it? Yeah.
And GP1, because Martin basically will not ride because of all the problems.
Yeah, it affects everything. It affects ticket sales, subscriptions, everything.
Imagine
because obviously
when was the last time we had a season where we didn't see
the reigning world champion?
I mean, we have seen him at Qatar.
Yeah, but he didn't finish it. You're not going to see the reigning world champion finish race. And I think also Espeleta, before we finish, I think he's also probably more annoyed that this just is one less person who can beat Marc Marquez. Because I think, this sounds a bit sad.
Well, he can't now.
I don't think. I think we've seen the last time the World Championship lead changes this year. I think we've seen it. I can't see Alex Marquez or Pecco. Pecco will run races this year. I think he will find something, but by that point, it will be too late. And Mark can just finish second. I'll win here because you've crashed or you've finished P3. But by that point, it won't matter because Mark isn't making enough mistakes right now. Right now, I don't think we'll see the championship lead change again this year. Sorry to say it, folks, but I don't think we will. Do you agree? Wait, 20. It's over 20 points now. It's less than the race win. I mean, you could always scuff it Silverstone.
The only reason is if we see Mark make mistakes and he'll just get mopped up by Alex and then Mark will claim back.
Potentially.
That's it. Right, so we have got Moto3, Moto2 and MotoGP.
Yep.
Winner for each.
Oh, when are you going to do this? Winner for each. I think Buqueras is going to put one on Rueda finally. I think that's due. I think in Moto2. He won last year. Fuck it. Let's go for a Jake win.
Go on, Jake.
I'll predict a Jake win. That's not just be what cause I want him to win. So good luck, Jake. I think you can do it. Bring it home.
I think
he'll get
that's exactly what I was.
It's fine. He can say it as well. It's fine. And I think Mark will win at Silverstone. However, it's a very different track to where we've been recently. I don't know. There's a lot of flowing corners. Do you think Fabio can do well? Anyway, we're not talking about that. We'll talk predictions. I'm not going to try and get another answer out of Alex. I'm going to say Mark for the main win. What about you? Moto3, Moto2, Moto2?
Right, Moto3, Moto2, MotoGP.
Yep.
Rueda. I really think that Rueda is going to have the weekend he deserves because Buqueras can win at Silverstone. He crashed out last year.
Mm-hmm.
I really think that Buqueras can win, but I think Rueda is just in his little...
Yeah, he's a massive confidence.
Chip away.
Outstanding.
So, Rueda for me.
Yep.
Dixon will win.
Okay.
In Moto2. Dixon will win. Jake, you will win.
I once said to Danny Kent in 2015, after I'd interviewed him before the race, and I was interviewing him when he was in Leopard Moto3, and he was leading the championship. And I got an interview with him, and finished the interview, and my dad said to him as he walked out, "Get it won tomorrow," and he did.
I will never do that ever again because I said to Sam Lowes in 2022,
yeah,
to Sam,
Was it the pit lane, wasn't it?
Right, Sam.
Yeah.
Good to see you, mate. I was wearing Mark VDS stuff.
Top to bottom.
Top to bottom. I went, Sam. He was like, "Oh, mate. Yeah. You're looking good, you." And I was like, "Yeah, you obviously got with my style." And
that definitely isn't how it went. Carry on.
And I said to Sam, I went, "Oh, be good. Don't fucking crash, mate."
I think I said,
and then lo and behold, that was on the Thursday. FP1 of Silverstone.
Oh, yeah, he did us off, didn't he?
2022.
It was his second flying lap off or something, wasn't it?
It was literally his flying lap.
First flying lap.
Crashed at farm and dislocated his shoulder. It was out for the rest of the fucking year.
Yeah. What else? What did you say to Alex? What did you say to Alex Marquez in the paddock that before we got to the pit lane that year, Alex?
Hey, Alex, my name's Alex too.
Thankfully, you weren't tiddled, but he was like.
I was quite drunk.
Well, you got a picture with him, and then you told me after you were laughing.
But Alex Marquez did the whole.
Yeah.
Deer caught in the headlights shots. You know.
Yeah. He was on his scooter with someone in the back. I think he wanted to get a quick getaway.
Alex,
brilliant.
Because Alex Marquez always looks really scared.
Yeah, well, maybe not after his first Grand Prix win. Anyway, who's going to win the MotoGP race?
Look at the last race. Could be fucking, I don't know, Salvadori.
Imagine the others.
It could be fucking anyone. Right. So, I think I really, really, really want it to be an unprecedented race where somebody silly wins it. Just have one of those.
It'll only be if the overcast skies open rain. So let's say it's dry.
I'd love to say Pecco.
Pecco's winning Silverstone. Well, in fact, isn't it like 10 wins in a row? 10 different winners in a row now. 11. The record could. There's been a different winner. There's been a different winner in the last. Yeah, there has. If you look, the last 11 winners of the British Grand Prix have been different the last 10 years.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
But obviously, if Mark wins, I think that changes because he won in 2017 or something like that. I think was it Dobby?
I think Alex will win.
Entirely possible. Yeah, Alex Marquez for the Grand Prix win.
Brilliant. I think Alex will win.
Brilliant. There we go. And that would be good for the championship.
The sprint, Mark.
Yeah, we did do the sprint. Okay, well, I'll say Pecco for the sprint then.
No.
Because Mark will go wide at Stowe. And Pecco will pass him. Anyway, folks, we will have... Next week, we already know, Alex just said when it's free.
We're not at fucking Silverstone. Why are we not going to Silverstone?
Because this guy, I'm not fucking going to Silverstone. And you get FOMO. We are going to get FOMO, yeah. Colin's sick. Say you tripped over or something.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And then go there for the weekend and don't take any pictures. Put it on social media. Yeah. Another thing is they've spread out. I saw the schedule. That there's no Day of Champions, but there's change of schedule. So you can see they're on the stage all weekend. An auction Saturday, an auction Sunday. I think there's more stuff for Friday. Because it'd be quiet, you probably got better chances of getting pictures with the riders. That is one thing you won't have to push for because you'll be able to go straight up and you'll be able to walk up to Mark. So enjoy that if you like your selfies with riders. And enjoy your gin. And
don't yell at the people that are at the circuit. They have nothing to do with it. They don't care. But splash past them. Get into the grandstands. Here's a gin. Enjoy yourselves. We love you very much. Silverstone Grand Prix. Enjoy yourselves.
Might see you there this way. Enjoy. And we'll be back next week for the review, and we'll have a guest on because we know it's going to be recorded next Wednesday. So thanks for tuning in, folks, and enjoy. All the best.
Toodaloo.